Good Sunday afternoon. Welcome to the second episode of A Dog's Life. My name is John and I am your host. And you are walking with me on my spiritual journey through this life. Last time around, we just talked about myself, the circumstances I grew up in, what I feel has shaped and formed me to this point. The fact that I am very spiritual but not Christian in my beliefs, and I don't have any negativity towards Christianity. I just don't feel it tells the whole story. I was listening to a gentleman that really inspires me earlier this morning named David Bayer. David, if you're out there, thanks for all you do. And he was doing an episode that he called Scars Over Stars. He was talking about telling your story rather than putting on a front to make people like you better. And that really resonated with me. On my Facebook page lately, I've talked about I don't wear a lot of logos because if someone compliments me, I want it to be on me, not because I have on a $50 t-shirt that they like. Today's episode is probably going to center a lot around money and energy. Everything in this world is just energy. Whether it's good or bad is really just about the label that we put on it. And energy is attracted to energy. A lot of angry people are attracted to angry energies because there's power in numbers. As I talked about in the first episode, all through my teens, 20s, and into my early 30s, I was constantly in and out of trouble with the law. And at that point, about 15 years ago, I got to a place in my life where I could start growing spiritually and being myself. And I realized that my problems had never been with the law. I just felt so confined by society that after trying to fit in for so long, I would act out because I knew it wasn't my true nature. So that being said, been about 15 years since I've had any serious negative stuff. I've really worked on myself during that time. I've had lots of ups and downs, but I've been more centered and focused and understanding myself as a person. So that being said, about a year ago, something from my past came up. I had been partnered with a gentleman for about 3 or 4 years at that point. We would flip and remodel homes together. When this situation came up, I spent about 2 weeks dealing with it so I didn't have to deal with it ever again. When I was done and ready to be focused on what we had going on again, I come to realize that he had taken my absence to any joint account or anything like that, to take my name off of it. Not even the courtesy of saying, hey, you know what? To me, your past changes things. I just walked back into what would be perceived as a shit show. I did not realize at that moment that actually it was more of the universe saying, you've known for a while that this was not the right fit for you. Your values and his were never fully aligned. You've had a good run, but it's not where you were supposed to be. And over the last years, I have gotten back to myself and to where I want to be, I'm the fact that it happened and he made those choices are a blessing to me, because it was not the energy that I wanted around my life. My mother, who seems to need to know everything about my life, and more times than not I'll give her the answer she's looking for, because it's easier to be like water. And sometimes with my mom, it doesn't matter if you're water or stone, she's going to get the answer she wants out of you. um, my mother, who obviously loves me, I was very angry over the situation and the financial loss I took over it. Um, I don't think money is owned by anyone. I could have fought for the money I had invested. I could have taken him to court, and I probably would have won. But it's when you get that much negative energy around something, even if I win, what have I got back? $20,000 that's now covered in negative energy, and I've had to be around the negativity to even get to that place. That's just not worth it to me. I want to be surrounded by good energy, and I'm not. Money is neither mine nor yours or anyone's. It's energy, and it flows to energy. Let him have that energy, because if I would have fought to get it back, there would have been so much negativity wrapped up around it. It just, I don't need that in my life. Anytime that I go out with family or friends to dinner, 8 times out of 10, I always pick up the bill. Um, Now there are people, like if I'm just out with like my mom or something, we'll flip flop back and forth. Or my friend Seth, who also has a local business, we'll meet up about once a week and have lunch, and we'll usually have a worker with us or something. Now with him and I, just one of us will pick it up. It doesn't matter. Life goes on. I'm pretty sure my brother probably thinks that me picking up the check every time we're out to a family situation or something like that has to do with ego. And maybe at one point in my life, it was, but I'm different than I was then. And for me at this point, picking up the check is all about energy. I don't want, I don't want to see my family arguing over, or my friends arguing over a soda that was put on the wrong bill, or I got your entree but it was $2 more than mine. I don't, and we can get like that if we let ourselves. And I don't want to be around that kind of energy. So to keep that from happening, I would rather just take care of the tab. We can get so caught up on the little stuff like that and not even realize the negativity that we're bringing into our lives. Money is universal. It's going to come and go. It's going to flow to you. It's attracted to energy. I So just be the energy, be the good energy you want to be in the world, and the rest will work itself out. I was watching a squirrel run down the fence line the other day, and my dog, who does like to have squirrels for lunch, was chasing it. I'm normally good about looking in the yard to make sure there's no other animals before I let him out. It is fenced. So as this squirrel is going back and forth on top of the privacy fence, literally teetering, little does it realize that if it would have just stopped, there was no way that my dog could have got up high enough to get to him. But in his head, he was so wrapped up in the fact that he felt my dog could, he wouldn't get out of his head to truly look at the situation. And I think sometimes when we let our ego or our human side take over our gut or soul, when we get in our head, it skews our choices. And I encourage all of you to find time during the day to just be alone with your thoughts. Let them, ponder them, toss them out, look at them, don't look at them. Just take time to be. In another way our energies can change, the last time I got in any serious trouble, a little over 15 years ago, I had been incarcerated I'd been in there long enough that they needed an address for me to go home to, and it was not going to be my own home. I had given them my dad and stepmom's address. So the lady calls me back in, and she says, "Hey, the lady at this address says that you're not welcome there." And what she didn't realize my stepmom, what she didn't realize when she said that, is she freed me. Because my energy was so caught up in battling, not feeling good with itself, where it was at, that I needed that for my soul to just go out and truly start finding myself. Fast forward to now, over 15 years later, my stepmom is my biggest supporter. She is there for me through thick and thin. Sometimes we can get so engulfed in the energy of our family or our community and just repressed by it. That was my whole life. I felt I let that be. I let that be my whole life. I let myself be repressed because I felt it would not work for the place I was in. God, that's a good way to put that. I had let myself get to that point. But getting away and understanding that it's okay to be you as long as you're putting kindness and goodness into the world. Now I can be in a spot that I can interact. I've been in a spot for the last 15 years or so that I can interact with the energies I grew up around and stuff, because I understand that I'm not defined by their expectation of me. It does not affect me anymore. And I love that. I don't think that I have a lot more to say for this episode. I don't let the world define you. There's greatness within you. Find your greatness, and you'll be immensely happier than trying to fit into the mold that society will put you in. I have had something that I have not opened yet because I am in expectation of it. And I was going to open it this morning, and then I thought, no, I want to wait till after I do this episode because I did not want I didn't want to let what was inside there in any potential way change how I would interact with you, or letting my feelings show through and hoping that my words can touch and resonate with someone. Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you have never listened to him, he has plenty of podcasts out there. He is just a beautiful soul with a lot of great advice for living your best life. David Bayer has had a podcast out for about the last 15 months now. Has built his dream life and helping people find themselves. Shauna Core, man, his purpose, the reason that he believes that he is here walking this earth, is he believes instead of trying to get everybody to average, that we need to move the average up. He talks about the effect of happiness, how it changes us, how it can change our physician's ability to correctly diagnose. He's got a lot of talks on happiness and moving the collective forward and moving our own median up is a universe. If you've never checked him out, Shauna Core is his name. Please do. I would love to know what you thought. Thank you for watching.